Hi, I'm Scott at ediblemusic.com. Vocals need energy. They're the star of the song. When they're present, they need to be upfront and they need to engage the listener into the environment of the song as well. When they don't have that, even if the rest of the mix balance is good, but the vocals lack energy, it doesn't sound as though the mix is finished. Here's a good example with this song. Right, the instrument arrangement is pretty good so far. The vocals sound really good, they're well performed, they have a nice tonal balance to them, but they don't have that kind of energy yet. So I want to show you a few steps that will help you to bring your vocals the kind of energy that will bring the listener in and engage them with the song. We'll start with the compressor, and because we're running it in parallel, we can leave the initial vocal, the original vocal, intact. But we can add a lot of compression that will give a real sense of solidity to the vocal. So this parallel compression, there will be a fair amount of it, but it's just going to be tucked up underneath so that it doesn't overpower and start to squash the vocal too much.
Seems like hours, still my visions keep me alive.
Maybe even a little bit more. This will especially help with the tail of the notes because the vocalist is holding a note, but it kind of grows softer as it's held. The compression will hold that note in place and allow the volume to remain balanced over the course of the whole note. Next, we'll add some coloration with saturation. Bring up the volume a bit.
Here seems like hours, still my visions keep me alive.
And if you want, you could add a lot of saturation to it. That's a much more affected tone of saturation. If you want to add just some saturation energy to it, then you would be a lot more subtle. I'm going to leave it here just for the sake of example because it sounds kind of cool and you might want to add some affected saturation to your vocals as well. So far you can hear it. Actually, that's too much. So this is a very affected saturation. If you want it to be noticeable and have that saturated kind of energy in the vocal, then you can look towards that. If you want to just add a bit of coloration, then you can go with the more subtle saturation as well. It's up to you. A couple steps in so far and it's sounding pretty good. The compression and the saturation have pushed the vocals to the front of the arrangement, and the saturation has given it a bit of grittiness, some color to it. But it lacks that spacious energy, so we'll use some delays for that. Use a couple of delays actually. The first one will be an eighth note. We'll bring that in. And the second will be a quarter note.
Lead me on high.
This one will be more subtle.
I'm Here seems like hours. Still my visions keep me alive.
Just the tone a little bit on these delays. We'll bring these in one at a time. Here's the original vocal, and then I'll add the compressor. Saturation.
Here seems like hours.
Eighth note delay, and now the quarter note.
Me alive.
Now this is getting there. The compression and the saturation have pushed the vocals forward. The delay has given it some spaciousness. And if you want to know how to make use of these steps in each part of your mix, then I want you to take advantage of my 5-day foundation. It's a series that will break down one at a time balance, EQ, compression, delay, and reverb, so that you can know how all of these steps combine together, but also how each of them can be used in order to push your mix forward and get a great result. Get it there at ediblemusic.com/5days. See you there.